hello, and welcome. I am so happy and thankful you have come to join me this evening, and I hope you're in store for a quick little short story. All right, I'm gonna break this up into two parts, and so I'm hoping that you all will come back and check me out for the next session of this quick story. But yeah, we're gonna get right into it, okay? It is Christian's Deceit. All right. I'm gonna let you all read along with me as I read my little short story. And it's called, remember, it's called Christian's Deceit. Okay. I close my eyes and tense up as the heat from the flat iron passes by the nape of my neck. Miss Cherry is putting the finishing touches on my silk press as she chimes. Okay, that should just about do it. Opening my eyes, I smile, peeking in the distorted reflection of the shop window. The shop's fluorescent lights and the parking lot's darkness often made all the windows turn into large tinted mirrors at night. Despite being such a bustling place during the day, this area always seems so dark and desolate at night. As she turns away to return her flat iron to its holder, I pull on the satin cape to stand when her hands press my shoulders back into the chair. Miss Lady, where do you think you're going? Oh, we're not done yet? I questioned. No, you still have time. No, already starting. No, I still have to wrap your hair and put you back under the dryer, exclaimed Miss Cherry. I relax my shoulders and lean back as she rebuttons the cape. As I fluff the cape back out, I feel my phone vibrate. Immediately, my heart began to flutter as I hurriedly pulled my phone out of my sweatshirt pocket, hoping it was a message from him. After texting back and forth all day, we agreed to meet after my hair appointment. Except ever since third period, his texts just stopped. His sudden unresponsiveness already made me uneasy, because the whole reason we were meeting up was to talk about our relationship. Christian and I have been dating for about 2 years, but lately I've noticed he's been acting a bit weird. I hadn't thought anything of it before. I guess it's easy to overlook subtle changes in behavior when you've been dating for so long. However, something had been gnawing at me all day. Even though my curfew is earlier on school nights, I was adamant that we should meet. Something just felt off between us. Despite these feelings, I felt at ease knowing he'd agreed to our meetup. That is before the radio silence. From Bay. Sophia, hey, I can't make it. My niece is sick. Reading the message, I froze a little. Not really sure what to think. On the one hand, Christian never really talked about his sister. I never thought they were that close, or at least that was the vibe I got from his mom's birthday party last month. The more I thought about it, the more I pressed. What do you mean sick? She okay? Frustrated, Miss Cherry pulls my head back so she could finish my silk wrap, and with a slight huff mutters, "You can go to dryer too." Not looking up, I step over the kickstand and head towards the dryers. Holding my phone, I stare as three dots appear, then disappear for what felt like an eternity. Yeah, she's sick, so I can't meet you right now. As I read those texts, a bead of sweat rolled down my right side, partly because the dryer was getting hot, and partly nervous sweating. Except my mind began to spin. What is she sick with exactly? What does that have to do with you? She doesn't even live with you. And if not now, when? Fearing what my heart had been telling me for weeks, something told me he was lying. Tearing up a little, I placed my phone in my pocket to call him when I left the shop. As I placed my phone back in my pocket, Miss Cherry returned to the dryer with a handheld mirror as she combed out my hair. As I looked into the mirror, Miss Cherry announced, "All right, ma'am, that'd be $45. Smiling at my reflection, I respond, "Okay, got it," and reached in my back pocket to hand her 2 folded 20s and a 10 I'd earned from my shifts to Dairy Queen. "Here you go. You can keep the change." "Well, how generous, Sophia. Thank you." "You ready? Let me walk you to the door so I can lock up behind you." As I follow Miss Cherry to the door, I see my buggy and reach for my keys. Hopping in the car, I immediately dialed Christian. The ringing tone played back in my car speakers as I started up. Second later, I heard, "You have reached the..." Hanging up, I redialed before the operator could finish her spiel. It rang shorter the second time, as though it was declined. "You have reached the..." Picking up the phone, I jabbed the end button and dialed a third time. You might think it was odd to call repeatedly like this, but you see, I had a great relationship with his mom and his sister, so if his niece was sick, I'd want to know. Truthfully, I knew I could tell if he was lying when I heard his voice. Christian had a severe stutter that he was shy about. Most people picked on him, but it never bothered me. Usually his stuttering only picked up when he was either excited or nervous. Hearing the third call trill through my speakers, Christian finally answered. "Hello?" stammers Christian. "Hey, you said your niece was sick. Is she okay? What is she sick with?" There was a pause as though he was thinking. "Yeah, she's sick. So I had to take her to the emergency room." "You had to take her to the emergency room?" I asked, confused. I, I'm at the hospital right now," he responds. "So that's why you stopped texting me earlier today?" Yeah, yes. "And your sis called you to take her?" "Yes, I'm at the hospital. That's why I came to meet you. I can't meet you." Perplexed, I asked, "What did she get sick with? Is she going to be okay?" I, 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 I don't, I don't know. She's just sick, okay?" he retorted angrily. Sensing he was getting defensive, I decided to let it go. "Okay, well, I hope she feels better. Please keep me posted." "Okay, I will. Good night. Night. Good night, Christian." Ending the call, I couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. It didn't make sense for Christian's sister to ask him to take her to the hospital in an emergency. It makes sense that they'd first ask his mom, not to mention. It did not sound like he was in the hospital at all. While we were playing our conversation more and more, I could see the holes in Christian's story, and my blood began to boil. At that moment, I remembered I was still sitting in the dark parking lot of a salon. As I pulled out the main drive, I was faced with which direction I should turn. Ironically, my hair salon was right around the corner from him, so I decided to drive to Christian's instead of heading home. Any other day, I wouldn't burn the gas since he lived so far from me, but since I was already so close, I could put my mind at ease. If Christian's mother wasn't there, I'd go with his story and let it go. Pulling onto his street, my heart raced when I saw his mother's car in the yard. Seeing her home when her only granddaughter was in the hospital did not add up. It was at that moment that I knew Christian was lying. I drove past their house in disbelief. As I exited the cul-de-sac, I approached their house for a second time to leave their neighborhood, but I stopped in front of their house. Christian's mother's bedroom light was on. Putting my car in park, almost in a daze, I was at their front door and had knocked. A part of me was saying, "This is crazy. What are you going to say? Christian's not even here. What reason would you be knocking on her door?" Suddenly, she opened the door, and quickly, I feigned a panicked look of worry. "Miss Robinson, hey, is everything okay?" I exclaimed. "Oh, hey, Stephanie. Yes, everything is okay. Chris isn't here." "I know, he told me he was at the hospital with Tracy. Is she okay?" "So far as I know." "Oh, okay. I was worried because he told me he had to take Tracy to the emergency room earlier today and that he was still at the hospital. I was just coming to check on you all." Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so it's a lot to unpack here, all right? So, first part, we in the hair salon, we getting our hair done, and our boo ain't text us yet. All right, and we've been texting him all day, and all of a sudden, all these texts just stopped. Why? What? No, no, no. And so, I have no idea what's going through her mind right now, but I know I would be pissed. Okay? Ain't no way. You're not gonna text me all day long, and then all of a sudden you stop, and then you come up with some story like this. Not to mention, why? Oh, why is his mother home? All right, so there's some things you can kind of deduce from that, right? It is no reason that she should not be there. So none of that made any sense. Okay, but that's something we're gonna have to figure out. What does Sophia do? What is she going to do? Hmm. And where is Christian? Christian. I mean, really, like where is he? All will be revealed. So that is my first installment today. And I really hope you guys enjoy it.